Scott Morgan here, Michigan Sports Radio. Joining me tonight are 4 of the 5 seniors from the Coopersville Boys Varsity team. We have Bryce Becklin, Evan Bushman, Mason Thomasma, and Mark DeVries. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Seniors, we're going to talk about that, what your expectations and everything, and get your thoughts on this season so far as you get ready for playoffs. Bryce, I'll start with you if you don't mind. Get your thoughts so far in the season.
I think a lot of people have doubts in us with our district being so competitive, but I think our competition has been so good throughout the season that we're ready for it. And our next couple of practices have been intense, previous and upcoming, hopefully.
Evan, how about get some thoughts?
Oh, I think the season's gone very well. I think we started off rough, but I feel like as we got closer as a team and figured out how to play with each other, we definitely got pretty good. I'm happy with how we turned out in the conference. Tough loss, but I think it was still a fun season.
Mason, how about you?
Kind of the same as Evan. I'm pretty happy with how we did, but a little rough at the beginning, which was all right because we ended up finding our roles and played pretty well throughout the whole season together. I'm excited to go through districts.
Mark?
Yeah, kind of the same thing again. We knew we were going to be competitive in the conference, and unfortunately we fell a little short of that. Obviously, we won some games back.
Yeah.
But, looking forward, so.
Let's talk a little bit. We start, like you both, Evan and Mason, touched base on a little bit, a rough start. Was that just because of the competition, or was it more of, as like you two said, we just didn't know our roles quite yet? Bryce, how about you?
I just don't think we had the experience of playing each other enough, and I think the competitiveness was just not there for us. Okay. But we figured it out.
Mark?
Yeah, we haven't really, kind of going with what Bryce said, we haven't really played a lot as a team together. Last year we had 3 guards that had played a lot of minutes on varsity. This year just kind of one the same, so we kind of figured out our roles. Who's scoring, who's getting rebounds, whatever. I think that was big at the beginning of the season. And then, obviously, by the time conference came, I think we were a little more prepared and knew what we were doing.
Is it better to play that tough competition like we did in the beginning of the season? How's that prepare you for it now? Go ahead, Evan.
Oh, I think it prepared us very well because I feel like the competition before the conference started was very good, and I knew that it wasn't going to get any easier, and I think all the guys didn't think it was going to get any easier during the conference. I feel like once we found out how we can actually play as a team, I feel like it gave us a pretty good hope of how we were going to do in the conference.
So we come into conference play. Were you surprised at how the competition was, or did you say when going into it, you knew that, you know what, we're going to be on the top? We're going to be fighting for number 1. Your thoughts on that, Mason?
We didn't really underestimate anybody, but other than Spring Lake kind of at the beginning, we didn't come out how we thought so. But other than that, we knew that we can do it. We just had to work hard and keep our intensity up, and if we did that, we knew that we could be on top. Okay.
You brought up Spring Lake, and that one was a good game. That was in December. That it's not normal, correct? We normally start conference in January after the Christmas break, but we had it early. Bryce, they came in and punched us.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts after that game?
Well, we were all pretty down and kind of upset with ourselves, seeing that last year Spring Lake wasn't very competitive in the conference, and the next couple of practices were pretty rough, but I think it was good for us.
Okay. So we get through the first round of conference, and Mark, you're sitting, we're really close to the top. We went through the first round, and what was your thoughts at that time when you started looking at, okay, I seen everybody, now what?
Yeah. It was weird. Everyone's kind of beating everyone in our conference, so you look at all these scores, and you're like...
Scoreboard watch, right?
Yeah. I'm like, this team, we lost to them. They're losing to other teams. It was just kind of a really competitive conference. And obviously we had a couple of games get away from us, which is disappointing. But, obviously, first half of the season, I just kept thinking back to the Spring Lake game and how we just kind of got. It was kind of like a wake up call. Like nothing's gonna be given to us. We haven't lost to Spring Lake in I don't know how many years, but it was a lot.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while. Yeah.
I think we kind of took that for granted, and then unfortunately just kind of got the best of us.
Got the best of it? Okay. And, so you come through and you're all thinking, okay, we made round 1. You get to round 2, Spring Lake comes in. We take care of business, right? Unity Christian comes in. What's your thoughts? You see in Unity Christian. You've seen them once and you beat them once. Now they're coming in the second time. What's your thoughts? Playing Unity Christian.
We knew that they were going to want to take us out because we were like the first team to beat them in our conference. So we knew that they were going to try to come in to our gym and try to bully ball us. But I don't know. We knew what was going to come, and we stood our ground and ended up pulling it out.
Evan, what were your thoughts after the game when you won and you said you defeated Unity Christian 2 times? You swept them for the first time ever.
Yeah, it was definitely a good feeling. I feel like the whole team enjoyed that win. I feel like we wanted it very bad, and we knew that they wanted it very bad, and I feel like we prepared pretty well for that game. We knew what we had to do to win, learning from watching film on them, and the previous time we played them, we knew what we had to do to beat them by even more.
Kind of set the tone for the run to the end, didn't it? In my eyes, I saw you. That was when you guys, okay, Coopersville Broncos is going to make a statement.
Yeah.
So you run through that. We get Holland Christian. You're doing well. We hit that one. It was a speed bump, right? It was just kind of, it wasn't us. Walk me through that, Bryce.
I think we just got content with being number 1, and we kind of took it for granted, and just, I don't know, being number 1, a lot of people want to take you out on the top, and I don't know, I think they just worked harder than us, which we all regret, and obviously we have things we can take back, but it is what it is.
Exactly. It's a game. So now you're coming into, Hamilton's coming in to Coopersville. It's going to be for the OK Blue Championship and everything. Probably was one of the best games I've seen in a very, very long time. Would you agree, Mark? You're shaking your head. Do you think you played your best and you played as hard as you could?
I think we played as hard as we could. Didn't get a lot to fall. It didn't seem like, especially in the first half, if I remember correctly. Sam came alive, and that kept us in the game, really. But I don't know. It was obviously a really fun environment to play in.
Yeah, that was my. That's the first time we've had the gymnasium that full in probably 8-9 years. Okay, I'll be honest, because I've been doing it that long. You have to spend that, and it was loud in there. I had to keep my mic kind of really close so people could hear. How did it feel down there in the court?
It was amazing. Like, just seeing how many people there watching us, like, it was just awesome. I don't know what else to say about it.
I was the least tired I've ever been playing a basketball game, just because I was running on adrenaline the whole time.
The whole time, yeah.
I just was never tired. I feel like I could run forever.
The student body section. Like the student body was pretty rowdy then, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. They came alive.
They came alive, didn't they? So now we're here. It's Friday afternoon before district playoffs, and we draw Grand Haven. What's your thoughts for Grand Haven, Evan?
I actually am very excited for the game. I think definitely a game that we all know will be a good game. Beating them last year, same situation. I feel like they're definitely excited to play us again, as we are as well to play them. I feel like we're preparing pretty well for the game, going over stuff that will help us during the game. I feel like it'll be a good game. Excited.
Okay. As seniors, all right, Mark, what legacy do you want to leave when you finally, we hang up the sneakers in the Breslin Center?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I love Coopersville for being really competitive. Doesn't matter who we're playing, doesn't matter how big they are, doesn't matter how fast they are. we can play with anyone. I think that's been our thing for the last couple of years. Haven't been the biggest team, but we always come out and compete. That's what I like about Coopersville. That's what I want to leave.
Mason, what's your legacy? Mason Thomasman, what's the legacy?
I mean, I don't got much to say other than, like, I just, like, kind of like him, like, Coopersville, like, I don't know, we always, like, come together, like, as one, kind of, like, as a family, and, like, it's like you're out there playing with your brothers, and I don't know. It's
Pretty special.
Yeah, it's just special.
It's very special. Evan, what's your legacy you want everybody to remember when it's done?
I feel like Coopersville is known for playing like together. At least the basketball program. I feel like everyone finds their role on the team pretty well. Whether you start, whether you come in 6th, 7th man or whatever, whether you may not get in one game, may get in the next game, you know your role on the team, and everyone shows up every day to fill their role. And I feel like if Coopersville didn't have that, it wouldn't be the same.
Bryce?
Yeah, everybody knows this is like the scrappy team that likes to run and get fast break layups. And a legacy point that I'd want to keep on going is, like, the juniors right now saw how close we were, and I think they have, like, that little bitter taste in their mouth. And hopefully the next upcoming seasons from the juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, they can just see that the conference is available, and hopefully we make a statement and, like, take a first step at keeping the conference to us.
You showed the light, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
It was there. They saw the top. The OK Blue Conference Championship was there. You lit the fire inside their bellies. So congratulations on that. How is it, when you come off the court and you have all these young players, in elementary, they know that's Mark DeVries. That's Mason Thomasman. That's Evan Bushman. That's Bryce Beckman. They're on the Coopersville Varsity Basketball team. And they're standing right in front of me. Is this cool or not? What's your thoughts when you hear something like that? Mark?
I love to think about it because I was right there with them.
Were you?
Oh yeah, I was watching.
Who were you watching?
Well, I was watching JD. Well, before I even came to Coopersville, I was watching my oldest brother JD when he was a freshman, and then we'd stay and watch the varsity games, and we watched Sam Mason. They were like kind of my idols.
Yeah.
Like Sam Mason, Nick Dykinga, both those teams. I was like, man. Now that we're here, it doesn't really seem like we're that kind of figure, but I guess we are. So, I mean, it's just really weird to think about. It's really cool to think about. I like being part of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mason? He said it, right?
Same people. Like, my idols were Nick Deckiga and Sam Mason, too. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just crazy to think about, like, there's kids out there that look up to us like that. Like, I looked up to them because, like, when I looked up to them, I was like, those guys are gods. Like, I love those guys.
NBA status.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBA status. Trust me, in 5 years, I will have the same conversation with the seniors, and your guys' names will come up, and they will say, just like you said with your guys, I watched them play. I watched them almost get that championship. I watched just a great game on a Friday night. Every one of them was played their heart out. I want to be just like that. Bryce, how about you?
Yeah, Sam Mason was one of the big ones out there. But I don't know.
He was, yeah.
It's kind of cool to look. Just when I moved here in 3rd grade, I always came to the basketball games with my family, and just looking up and just keep going up the grades, I was like, oh, just getting closer and closer to being at varsity level. And it really doesn't seem real that I'm on the top of the thing, and it's like our last year and we're done, and everybody just keeps looking up to us, which is kind of cool to think about.
Evan?
Yeah, I remember going to kids camps and stuff, and we were out there dribbling in a circle, and you got some of the ball handlers on the varsity team, and they're out there doing everything you thought was so right. They'd mess up, but you didn't care because you could barely do the drill or whatever. You thought everyone was just so much better, and now we're in that position where they're looking up at us thinking we're the best in that school or whatever, and I feel like it's cool to see that.
It really is. Like I said, guys, I want to say thank you for the time here, and I wanted to, starting this out as something special. You guys as seniors, you are leaving a mark that, somebody will be looking at, in the next, 5-10 years, you'll be looking back at yourself. When you have your first kid, if you have, they'll be coming in, nieces or nephews, and you'll be bringing them here and saying, this is where I played. And they'll see pictures of you playing, and it's pretty special. And you are right. It is a wonderful community. Coopersville really does love basketball and their sports here, and they come out to support you. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck Monday night. When we get by that, we take one at a time, and we'll run this race,
Absolutely.
like you say, all the way to the end of the Breslin. That's where we want to go, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.